I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I want Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, but I think they're gone. Because here's the other part. At
Yeah.
some point, Jalen Warren gonna want money. Now he's not gonna ask for $10 million because he was the secondary back.
Right.
But he gonna want money.
Sound like a third round draft pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be a running back of some sort.
Like I said, yeah, I think, yeah, man, I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, I do know,
but let's talk about some winners and our guy right here. Yeah, I gotta get one more twist in there, bro. I gotta do that. Let's get the homie in here. Our special guest this week, folks, Whittle2k, host of the Coast to Coast podcast, which you can find on YouTube. Also, a big time Buffalo Bills fan, as you can see here. Had a big win in the wild card round over the Broncos last week, 31-7, I think it was. So, Whittle2k, man, appreciate you coming on here. Thanks for your time, man. How's everything, bro?
Oh, it's good, man. It's good. Getting ready to go up to Buffalo in a couple of days. Got my ticket.
You going to the game? Okay.
Yeah. Got everything. I had to order me some. I lost my like cold weather gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I lost them at work, and I had to order some today, man, and make sure they got Amazon primed over as soon as possible. So, I'll be ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. I'll be up there Saturday night more than likely, and I'm gonna meet up with y'all with one of y'all. I call him Mr. Viral, Mr. Kicker. Kicker's gonna meet me up there.
Yes, sir.
My man,
yes,
Trippy.
Sir.
Shout out to Trippy.
Yeah, Trippy's my guy, man. He's gonna meet us up. He's gonna meet us, me and a couple other Bills fans up there Saturday night, and we all gonna go out. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna tailgate on Sunday, and then go to the game.
Man, that's what's up,
So,
man.
yeah.
I was so torn, man. I was telling my wife, I said, yo, we gotta find a way to get up to Buffalo. My wife went to school, went to college in Buffalo, so we're kind of familiar with the city and everything. And plus we got a couple of people up there. And I said, man, if we could only make our way up there, because kids is off from school Monday, ain't no work Monday, it'd be cool to, get back on a Monday. And the funds just can't make it work, man. I'm so blown about it. They got like this restaurant around here. They got like 5 full buses of Ravens fans already decked out, ready to drive up to Buffalo Sunday morning, just tailgating for the game. So it's crazy, but it's gonna be a fun one, man. It's gonna be definitely the game of the weekend for sure. But before we get to that. Tell us a little bit about Coast to Coast podcast. Shout out to your co-host also. Tell us about it and how you guys came up with the concept and what got you guys into podcasting.
I met Brian, my co-host Beyond 716. We met on Twitter, like through Twitter. We have a pretty I think we have a pretty substantial Buffalo Bills community on Twitter. We do spaces. We we link up for games. Like they're Bills fans, obviously that live in Buffalo. My man Lee Sean, aka Warlock, he lives in Charlotte, and then we have a bunch of other, just everywhere. We're everywhere. So Twitter kind of brought us together. Then talking to Brian's from Jersey. I'm from Jersey. I still live in Jersey. Brian lives in California. And I have further with the idea because people have been suggesting it for a while. I talking this over with some friends of mine from here. We were going to do just a sports podcast about just all sports. And, never could get the schedules together. Life just be life sometimes, And I talked to Brian. We would be in spaces together, and being that we were both from Jersey, we kind of, speak the same language, so to speak. So I approached him with the idea. I say, listen, man, I'm thinking about doing a podcast, and I would like you to be, go in this with me. We're both from Jersey. You live in California. I live in Jersey. We can call it coast to coast because West Coast, East Coast, whatever.
Yep.
But we're both Bills fans. So, what do you think? He said, "Yeah, let's do it." We picked out a time, and really, it was just about, really just like educating the fan base, man. Because to be honest, man. Some casual fans just ask some of the dumbest questions of all time, and it's just you want people to have, and you want the like for me, I like to have substantial conversation with some substance. So if we can educate the fan base, they can have more substantial conversations with substance, and we can really get into the game and really understand the team more instead of having guys come in and say, well, why don't we just sign Derrick Henry and Trey Hendrickson? We got money, and you have no idea what the salary cap looks like,
Yeah.
or 4
Yeah.
years, and they don't understand why do we get this guy $30 million? He's only gonna be here 2 years. Well, there's 2 years at the back end, it's a void years, and they spread the money out, and he's not really gonna be here. Yeah. So we did that, and that was the initial purpose of it. And I mean, it's not really a huge platform, but we do decent. I feel like we do decent numbers,
Yeah.
and and it just kind of took off. So now here we are, man. I mean, it's fun. We're starting to get merch together.
That's what's
We got
up.
picked up by a startup network to do Champions Network. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of fun. The family's on board with it. I don't get yelled at for not coming to bed at a decent time on Wednesday. So it's good. It's
Story of my
good.
life.
Yeah,
But y'all from Jersey, so northern New Jersey.
I'm from Northern New Jersey. I'm from East Orange. I live
Okay.
in North. He's from Ocean County. He's like from Ocean County, like near the shore.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like
Okay.
that's like Central Jersey. It's like kind of Central Jersey. Yeah,
Right. Northern. Okay. You
yeah.
from Naughty by Nature neighborhood, East Orange.
Actually, right around the corner. Yeah, like
That's what's up.
Tretch used to sell drugs outside the barbershop I went to as a kid. That was a real true story. True
Yeah.
story. But yep.
Oh
I
man.
grew up.
Oh man.
I grew up right off of Halstead Ave. Yeah, in Jersey.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yep.
So, how did the love for the Bills come into play? Being that you're not originally from Buffalo, but you root for them anyway. So, how did that come about?
Well, my pops. My pops. He passed away earlier this year.
God
Or
bless
Oh,
him.
rest
excuse me,
rest in
last year.
peace.
He passed away last year. Um, and he raised. Like I've always been competitive. He pushed that. He's always pushed that. Hot head, short temper. He always uh he fueled that fire instead of like, yo, you gotta calm down. He's like, nah, go get him. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
he was always like that. And my pops was a Jets fan and a Knicks fan and a Mets fan. So naturally, uh, the son is gonna go the opposite way. So I'm a
Hmm.
Bills fan, a
Hmm.
Celtics fan, and a Yankees fan. So
Yikes.
we would
Okay.
we
Okay.
would butt heads like, for a while. And like funny, real quick story. So my pops, he had some health concern. He had some health issues probably like 10 years ago, and he had to come and live with me for a little bit.
Hmm.
We would not talk to each other for Sundays. Like when the Bills and Jets played, we would be
Hmm.
in the house. Like that entire week, said very little to each other.
No
Facts. Yeah.
trash
And
talk. No trash talk or nothing.
if it was anything, it was, I'm making breakfast. You hungry?
Yeah.
No? All right, cool. And that was it.
Um,
But like as the game we got closer, it was trash talk there. Like, yeah, you're gonna be mad Sunday. You're gonna be mad. Like, come on, man, y'all terrible. Y'all got no quarterback. Y'all got so
yeah.
Right.
it
Right.
was cool, man. Yeah.
So talk to me about this state of the Buffalo Bills, and obviously we're going to get to the playoffs and that type of thing. I say this because we've had some Bills, Bills analysts or podcasters on in a while, and I'll be honest. This time last year, I was talking about how Buffalo Bills. Last year I predicted Buffalo Bills wasn't even going to make the playoffs last year. So
Really?
a lot of my conversations last year, maybe even 2 years ago, was look, Josh Allen can't do everything. He just can't do everything. And because they lean on him so much, at some point Josh Allen is going to burn out. And that was kind of where my stance was. So I guess what I'm asking is I mean, obviously I was dead ass wrong about that, but like what is the state of Buffalo? Like, do you guys, the best way to ask it is how do you feel about you guys' Super Bowl window?
Okay, I get this. We get this question all the time. So
I know.
I'm going to explain it to you like this. Um, the Buffalo Bills flip their roster, but anybody that knows the NFL knows that the game is one in the trenches,
Yeah.
right? Like if you have good trenches, you're gonna be a good football team. Then you add, an Avenger at quarterback, like we call him the Winter Soldier. You add an Avenger to that mix, like you really have the makings of a solid core. So we have that. We have a very good offensive line, one of the best in the league, and from a skill, like depending on the skill set that you're looking for, the Buffalo Bills has an excellent defensive line. If you're looking for pass rush, you're looking for guys to be quick, get upfield, disruptive, bat balls down, things like that. Really make it difficult on quarterbacks. The Buffalo Bills can do that. But they're not built for every style of defense, which is a problem.
Right.
But that's like the only problem. I think the Buffalo Bills are coached extremely well on both sides of the ball. I think Sean McDermott is one of the coaches that gets the Buffalo Bills get the most out of their day 3 draft picks. Like if you look at the Buffalo Bills roster, they draft very, very well. Christian Benford is a starting corner. He's like top 3 in separation allowed this year from the cornerback position. He was drafted in the 6th round. Matt Milano, all-pro linebacker, 5th round pick. Dawson Knox, 4th round selection. Taron Johnson, all-pro, 4th round selection. Our starting right tackle, Spencer Brown, drafted in the 3rd round out of a small school. So I think the Super Bowl window is wide open. If you would have asked, if you could go back 4 months and say, or 5 months to like August or September and say, the Buffalo Bills are going to win 13 games and they're going to be the number 2 seed in the conference. People would laugh at you because they saw all of the things that we lost and all of the different things. That Diggs is gone and all these guys are gone. We have the 3rd most in dead cap money right now on our books. So the Super Bowl window, if we're here right now, next year that dead cap money comes off. We have 10 draft picks. We have some young guys that are coming up on contract, and we have some older guys that are going to be coming off. We may even we may even part ways with Von Miller, which would be a big cap relief.
Yeah.
Josh is going to get another contract, which is basically like if you understand contracts, when they re-sign him, they're going to use his contract as basically a piggy bank to pull from and get other players. The wide receivers are young. I mean, it's just a really, really well-constructed team. I think they ripped the Band-Aid off this year and stretched out the Super Bowl window for at least 3 to 5 more years.
Yeah, 2 things I like what you said. Offensive line and defensive line. Because when they talked about all those changes, most of those changes was in the defensive secondary for the most part. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Stephon Diggs not being there no more. That became a thing. But I like that because it's not the sexy thing to talk about when you're talking about offensive line, defensive line. So I like what you said there. And then the coaching part of it too. I think McDermott's one of the, I think it's a top 10 coach, in this league. And to be able to get a lot out of this roster with a top 2 quarterback and be where you guys are at right now, it's amazing to me. I mean, of course, it helps when Miami don't know what they're doing. The Jets continue to not know what they're doing. And, the Patriots, everybody
right
expected, what the Patriots were going to be. We'll see how Mike Vrabel, builds that team up now that they got their coach. But yeah, all that combined, man, I would agree. The Bills have a window that's open, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. So, let me. Well, before I get facetious, what I took from what you were saying so far was, your podcast is based on, the casual fan not really knowing, the ins and outs of how franchises work and that thing. So, to a casual Bills fan, what is like your overall message to a fan about the state of the Buffalo Bills?
The best is yet to come. Like honestly, like I feel very positive about where we are right now. To be hosting a divisional playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens with the chance to go to the AFC Championship. This is not something. Listen, I had 12-5 in my Twitter bio all season. I wasn't sure about it. I didn't know that the Jets were going to be as bad as they were.
Right.
I didn't know that Tua was going to, get hurt. I didn't know that the offensive line was going to be like 2 years ago, man. I wanted Spencer Brown off this team. I had no idea he was going to he was going to become this good of a player this quickly. And then we got lucky as well. We got lucky with the NFC South. The AFC South. AFC South fell on their face this year, and we played them. So, had we played the AFC North, our record probably looks a little different. Had we played the West this year, our record looks probably a little different. So, I think that in a down year as far as the roster is concerned, the Buffalo Bills had a favorable draw with the schedule. It didn't look like that at the beginning of the year, but nevertheless, here we are. And to have 13 wins, we should have had 14 if we would have needed to play the last game with DeMar Hamlin as a starting safety. Taylor Rapp, who was thrown away by a Super Bowl champion, that really revamped their entire secondary. You would think that they would hold on to a guy that they drafted in the second round, but no, they threw him away. We got him for peanuts. These are our starting safeties. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that this is where we are with that group, I think it speaks volumes about where this team can potentially go when you look at the prospects of, if we win this game, we've really overachieved. Everything after this game, I think, is
house money.
House money. Like, we're playing with house money.
Yeah.
If we win this game. Now, I still want to win. I still want to get to New Orleans, but we're playing with house money if we win. And then when you add in the fact that the roster is where it is, and we have 10 draft picks, and this is a very good draft. This is a very good draft for secondary. This is a very good draft for the defensive line. This is a very good draft for some of the pieces that we need. Like there's some really good running back prospects in here as well. So everything that we need is right in front of us. This team is good now, and they're going to be better next year. This is probably the worst Buffalo Bills team you're going to see over the next 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. So then you feel like basically, and obviously you're spectating and talking about the future as if it goes your way, because you said they're playing with house money. Do you feel like? So do you still feel like Kansas City right this second? Kansas City are still the big dogs, and y'all working up to that, or do you feel like right now y'all can beat Kansas City?
Oh yeah, I think we can beat Kansas City. We beat them every year outside of 2020. Like 2020 is the only season that they really swept us. Like we blew them out in 21.
Regular seasons,
that's the problem. Our timing is off. Your timing
is off. That's a fact.
Listen, you guys are in the way right now. Just step aside and let us go ahead and handle our business. Let's just do that. But that's where we are. That's where we are right now. I think the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl.
That I agree with.
Okay.
That I do agree. That I do agree with. Honestly, I think the winner of this game wins the whole thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think the winner of this game wins the whole thing.
With respect, Detroit got something to say.
With respect to the Lions
we beat them
and the Rams, who've won a Super Bowl 3 years ago. And the Eagles, who've been there, 2 years ago, with respect to those teams in Kansas City, that's the beast. That's the dragon that both these teams have to slay. It's Kansas City, and it's everybody else. Everybody's looking up at Kansas City. I feel like this is the year for one of these two teams right here, in my estimation.
Sure. Hey, I'm torn, man. I'm torn, man. I do not like the Baltimore Ravens. I don't. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I
My
don't
mom
like.
is a Steelers fan.
God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah. God bless her.
It's a good woman.
Hope she's all right. I hope she's doing all right.
But
she might be watching, so be careful. She'll jump in the comments, man.
Hey, that's what's up.
Hey,
well, hey,
we love all the smoke.
Look, I ain't got a positive thing to say about my team right now. Like I ain't got a positive thing. I'm ready to see what we're going to do in the offseason. But I love black quarterbacks. I do. I want black quarterbacks to thrive, and I want black quarterbacks to succeed. There's this MVP race that we're talking about that's I guess is going to come out at some point. And a lot of the year, let's say November, mid-December, I think I was kind of sold that Josh Allen was the MVP. And Trey is sold that Lamar Jackson is the MVP. Right. It's a two-parter. Where do you stand with the MVP race? And two, in your mind, where does the MVP voting stop? Now, the obvious answer is week 18, but I think it stops earlier than that. I think when we're talking about an MVP, particularly this year, maybe more so than ever, because look, the Ravens ain't playing for real at week 18. Buffalo, I'm not super privy to, but
the Bills had everything wrapped up.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm
Bills
getting
had
at.
Everything wrapped up.
So when
we had to play week 18.
Right. So but I mean, yes,
we had to play.
You had to play a football game. That is emphatically true.
We had to win the.
Who would you play? Who would you play week 18? Who would you play week 18?
Dorian Thompson,
Bailey Zappi.
Yeah. Bailey Zappi and DTR.
Look, they weren't trying to win.
Right. So forgive me if I look at week 18 for both teams and for both quarterbacks and say that's a wash. Mm-hmm. That's a wash. Where do you stand with that, and who's your MVP in your mind?
So as far as the MVP is concerned, I'm over it. Like, I mean, it was so toxic with the back and forth about the MVP, and it was going on for months, and it just got to a point where I'm just like, look, man, whatever. Like, if Josh wins the Super Bowl, he can wipe his butt with the MVP. The regular season MVP and throw it away because he'll have a Super Bowl MVP. So let's look at it from this standpoint. Eli Manning is probably going to get into the NFL Hall of Fame
100%
because of the Super Bowls.
Yeah, on the first ballot. On the first ballot,
and it's possible. He's got a ton of yards.
I say yes.
He's got a ton of yards.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's got a ton of yards.
He's compiled
a lot of touchdowns.
A lot of yards.
Yes, he's compiled a lot of stats. Yes. And he's got those moments that, I mean, voters are gonna remember fondly. So that's where I'm at with the MVP. I also believe that Lamar's gonna win it because, I mean, that's what it looks like, because the AP, the voters that vote for the All-Pro team are also the ones who, most of them are also, I believe most of them are MVP voters as well. So
they are.
It would stand to, reasoning would stand to say that Lamar's going to get it. Now, It has happened before where the first team All Pro quarterback did not also win the MVP. I think that this would be a year that would be fair because I think Josh unequivocally has been more valuable to his team than Lamar has been.
That's all my argument has been.
He's
yeah,
done a lot.
100%.
He's done more with less. I would agree that Josh has done more with less. And the fact that he's the only All-Pro on his team does say a lot in comparison to the Ravens. I think 6 All-Pros on our roster.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it says a lot about the voters more than it says about the Buffalo Bills roster. But that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Get your fan shit off. I feel you. I feel you.
I'm just saying. Listen, if you look at the offensive line only giving up 14 sacks all season long, having 1,000-yard rusher, we've rushed for almost 5 yards a carry all year. I mean, we've let up the second least amount of pressures all season long. I don't know, man. A 13-win team, the offensive line's graded out very, very well week after week. I don't know.
Well,
James Cook led the league in rushing touchdowns, right?
Yeah, he was second. It was tied with I want to say Derrick Henry might be.
Possibly. I think it's Derrick Henry.
No. I'm sorry. Mr. Tushy Pushy. My fault. Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Okay, so now, because I hear you. Any offensive line that produces that way, you should be having conversations about all pros. But now for me, you got to put names on bullets, meaning who do you give it to on that offensive line? And I say that particularly because I'm certain that most defenses, when they play Buffalo, they have to be concerned about the idea that Josh Allen is going to break out and run. So that backs defenses up a little bit. So I'm not saying that the offensive line ain't good. The stats are the stats, regardless of how defense plays a team. That's not what I'm not taking that from them. But who on the All Pro list do you take out for a Buffalo offensive lineman?
Jordan Mailata, the tackle from
Philly. From Philly,
or Tristan Wirfs. Now, listen, I love Tristan Wirfs. I think he's an he playing great football. Deion Dawkins is better. Deion Dawkins.
I was going to say Deion Dawkins is good. I like Deion Dawkins.
Yeah, and the same argument that you're making for Josh Allen, it's bigger. It's a bigger argument for Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts is much more of a runner first than he is than Josh Allen. So.
Yeah, but then you got to talk about team makeup, and the thing is that another, for a long time in this regular season, we talking about another MVP, and his name wasn't Jalen Hurts; it was Saquon Barkley. So, and again, this ain't me disagreeing. I just wanted to know what your thoughts were because, the thing is that it's hard to pick out one offensive lineman when everybody's doing well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when everybody's doing well, it's like and defenses are scared of that quarterback busting a 50-yarder because he do one damn every other week. It feel like a 50-yarder for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to. They would probably, it'd be wise for them to play back a little bit, not to be as aggressive with their pass rush because of that. So yeah, I don't pretend to watch that much of the trenches to pick out I don't know. I don't have a definitive answer who's better, Deion Dawkins from Tristan Wirfs. Me, Maestro. I don't. But I know Deion Dawkins is nice. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like Deion Dawkins ain't nice. I ain't gonna say you know what I'm saying. So I could rock with that. I will say that because Tampa Bay's offensive line doesn't produce the way Buffalo's offensive line does, it's easier for Tristan Wirfs to stick out.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't want I'm giving it I changed my mind, Trey. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would give it to Lamar Jackson. And I think I think my black quarterback bias is kind of what stuck in at the last minute. But I was hoping that you was going to try to convince me to stand on my guns, but you didn't. Good job for you. Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson should get it. I think Lamar
the
Jackson.
numbers.
The numbers
for
are
me.
they pale. They pale.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
four interceptions, 41 touchdowns.
But damn,
4,000.
not to cut you off, but imagine if Buffalo had Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
Well, we don't even have to go there. We could just say, imagine if Josh Allen had to play in the fourth quarter in most of these games,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Josh Allen's got over 100 less snaps in the regular season than Lamar Jackson.
Good point.
The
y'all
yards are
been
not
blowing
that
some
far.
teams out. Y'all been blowing some teams out.
Right. The yards are not that far. The yards are not that far apart. And the passing touchdowns, there's a gap in the passing touchdowns for sure.
Yeah.
Because Josh, I think, was at 28 or 29 or something like that. I think he was at 28, and
But
Lamar's
there's
at
also
what,
a
like
gap
40.
there's also a gap in the rushing touchdowns too. I think Josh is in like the double digits for
Yeah, Josh
rushing
has 12 rushing
touchdowns,
touchdowns. Yeah,
and Lamar has like 5, I think.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a discrepancy both ways, but they kind of balance each other out when you total the amount of touchdowns, rushing and passing.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done for me and again, let me be clear, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but there's two Baltimore Ravens and that I respect. One is Ed Reed, and the second is Lamar Jackson. So I want him. I think he should get it. And Jonathan Ogden. I'm sorry, and Jonathan Ogden. But yeah, he should definitely get it. He should definitely get it.
Yeah, I just hope the voters doesn't use this game as a way to make their minds up about who to vote. I mean, it's a regular season award, but I don't want to be. Oh, they're already in. Okay.
Yeah, the votes go win before the playoffs start.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the regular season
makes
over.
sense.
I didn't know that, because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. A lot of times it be feeling like, and my feelings, it be feeling like some shit be getting swayed on playoff, on playoff performances. So that's good to know. That's good to know, because I've been on here many times like, oh, they just gave that to him because he did this in the playoffs. I just came on this show and said that hella times.
I felt that way too.
No, I'm you're not gonna get me to come in here and try to argue that the numbers aren't MVP worthy. Like they are. Lamar Jackson's having a great, this is the most efficient and productive season Lamar Jackson's had.
100%.
It's one of the most efficient and productive seasons I think any quarterback has had since Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is where he's at right now. 800 yards, over 4,000 passing yards, like 40 touchdowns. It's crazy. Like the numbers are crazy. But at the same time, Josh wasn't required to do to put up gaudy numbers this year. Like I can point to 2 games where, the ground game was the difference. Miami in week 2, we ran them out the building. Like it was just a James Cook show. And then the Colts game. The Colts game, we were missing our top 2 targets at wide receiver. I think Dalton Kincaid also was out of that game. And it was more of a ground game, and the defense stepped up and gave us some short fields, and Josh got in the end zone twice on the ground. And he didn't need to throw the ball in the end zone. We were able, well, really, the Colts lost that game more than they held it up on a platter and we just took it. We've had a few games like that. There have been some blowouts where Josh has not played in the fourth quarter, like the Jags game. We blew the Jags out in the first half. Josh had a ball cap on early in the fourth quarter.
I remember that.
He sat out against the Jets when we blew the Jets out. He sat down in the fourth quarter as well. So it's a lot of different. I mean, I could get into I could formulate an argument for Josh to be considered and make it where the numbers aren't as much of an argument piece. I can just point to last year. and say the numbers didn't matter last year. The stats didn't matter because if they did, Dak Prescott would have been the
Would have
MVP.
been MVP.
The best season statistically. His
Yeah.
team won his division. They were the second seed, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But this year, Lamar's having such an amazing season. I get it. And I have a friend that knows a voter, and they're like, bro, we do not want to put another controversial MVP out there like last year. So we'll go with the numbers. So,
Right.
and that's what it is. And I respect it. I
Yeah,
respect
for sure,
it.
for sure.
Yeah,
Let the
shout out.
standard be the standard going forward.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
The Steelers fan, man. I got you, bro. We in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out my guy Kevin Sanford. We call him Rough Buff, but that's a Bills fan right there for sure. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Jolene Page.
There's mom. There's mom.
Okay, all
right, mom. All right. Appreciate you in the chat for sure. Hey, question.
Give me a rundown before you.
Game.
I was going to give it a quick. I mean, look, I know it ain't much to talk about it. That ass whooping y'all put on Denver, but real quick.
Yeah.
Something to recap.
All right, real quick. So we went to that game, and number one, we were worried about the first thing we were worried about were the yards after the catch.
Yeah.
Not really worried too much about the running game. So the two things that I wanted the Bills to show me this game was, can you tackle an open field, stop them from getting yak yards, and can you limit the explosive plays? They gave up the first, or not even explosive plays, because we've been pretty good at that, but can you get off the field on third down? Those are the two things most important to me defensively that I wanted to see from the team. Can you get off the field on third down? And can you tackle an open field and keep them from getting a ton of yak yards after the catch? We did a very good job of that. I think our defensive ends played a heck of a game, limiting the screen plays, the sweeps, the things that they do, the little tricky plays off tackle to the wide receivers and all of that.
Yeah,
they did a good job of limiting all of that. I thought our corners were very aggressive in coming up and tackling. I thought that the defensive line played a very good game of contain. And I thought our linebackers and safeties did a very good job outside of one play of patrolling the middle of the field, taking some of that easy stuff away, and making Bo Nix throw the ball underneath the sticks, coming up and tackling, and making them go to the next play. Thought they did a good job of that. Offensively, I wanted to see the philosophy of everybody eats. I wanted to see everybody get involved. We saw that. They went to some non-vanilla passing concepts. You saw man beaters. You saw zone beaters. I mean, we've always had zone beaters. There was a good amount of mesh. There was a good amount of level concepts that they used to free guys up underneath. I thought Kincaid was very good. I thought Dawson Knox was very good. Like everything that I feel like we needed to do in order to prepare for the Ravens game, I thought we did against Denver, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I looked at the Broncos as a tune-up to they're not what the Ravens are,
right?
But they're it's not Dr. Pepper, but it's like Diet Mitch the Fib. That's what the Denver Broncos were in comparison to the
I see what you're saying.
Ravens.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they were a team that good season for Denver, but I just thought the only chance they really had was if Sean Payton had a couple of those like splash plays that he'd be calling, and he did call one. He did have the fake punt in the first half, but then the Broncos couldn't do nothing with it offensively. And y'all had the ball a lot. I think y'all had the ball like over 40 minutes time of possession. So that was huge also, when just, staying with the run game and, staying on the field and keeping the Broncos off to the side offensively. But I got to ask you, man, as far as then we'll get to the game. Who do you feel like the NFL wants in the Super Bowl? Because we always have I feel like we always have these conversations. It's like what we want as fans and then what the league wants. Like, if you had to sit in their office and like gauge who do you feel like the league wants to be in the Super Bowl to represent both conferences?
Chiefs this year. I don't. I think they want I think they want one of these teams, the Bills or the Ravens, to dethrone the Chiefs and go to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC side is different though because I feel like it's Detroit, and I feel like Dan Campbell's such a fun character to root for.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, what Jaden Daniels is doing is nuts over there, man. Like, I mean, the kid with the Commanders, I don't know where I don't know what the biggest draw is, but if I had to say, and this is a little fan bias, of course, I'm not going to deny that. I think a Bills Detroit Super Bowl would. I mean, I think it would feed. I think it would
That's
feed
what I
families
was
all
thinking.
across this
I think
country,
that's what
man.
they want. I think that's what they want.
Yep, that's where I was thinking.
Because you get a first time Super Bowl winner no matter what. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And more than that, even
Go ahead and say it, Maestro. Go ahead and say it.
They want Josh Allen to win that motherfucking Super Bowl.
I was more so
don't know
leaning
about
toward
that.
they want 2 white quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
Oh
I was
no!
leaning more
Oh,
on
I
that.
know they don't want Jaden Daniels black ass there yet. That I know. That I know.
I don't know if I mean. So okay, I don't think they want Lamar Jackson in it. I
Yeah.
think Lamar, and
Yeah.
I think Lamar Jackson's great.
Me too.
When we didn't get Baker Mayfield in 2018, I was like, man, we need to get Lamar, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to get, and we ain't gonna keep Tyrod. We need to get Lamar. Like Lamar be flicking that thing.
Yeah.
For real. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we ended up getting Josh Allen. I was mad. I was like, who is this kid? I never heard of this kid before. He sucks. But you know, I was wrong, and I'm glad about it. But I don't think they want Lamar in there. I think Lamar is getting a diet version of the NBA Iverson treatment
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. They hate that nigga
Just
hair.
gonna be
I'm
honest.
telling you, they hate
Just gonna
his
be
hair.
honest with you, man. Like I think it's unfair because Lamar has never been in anything. Like
Right.
nothing.
Right.
You never hear anything. Like I found out Lamar got a kid. And I like a Ravens fan told me, yeah, Lamar got a kid. I was like, when? I didn't even know that.
He keep his life somewhat private, but I did know he had I didn't know that he had,
I ain't know that.
I knew that. I mean, he said it on social media. If you follow him on social media,
yeah, so. I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
Well, that's you. That's
yeah.
you. But
I don't follow no Ravens on social media, bro. You think I am?
To the Ravens fan that Whittle was, referencing, if you follow Lamar Jackson, then you would have known that he had a kid. So that.
Yeah,
that, but
I think the point is that he ain't did nothing to not deserve the accolades and to not be put in conversations with some of the best quarterbacks in the league. And obviously they say he's one of the best in the league, but it's different. I think the major difference between Mahomes and Lamar Jackson is those Super Bowls. I mean, clearly, you know what I'm saying? I think we're not having a conversation. I think the conversation for me, and and shout out to Patrick Mahomes, he's done phenomenal things, but Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, when you put what he does along with the running threat, and look, I'm not saying he's a better thrower of the ball than Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying when you're talking about playing football, and you asking me who I got, Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
He could play both the pass and the run.
I think like if you're talking about, I'm starting a franchise and my first pick's got to be a quarterback, and I don't know what else I'm going to have after this.
Yeah,
who am I taking?
Yeah,
it's Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you to your mom for saying this in the chat here. He marches to his own beat, and that to me is in reference to him not having an agent, and you know how the league feels about players that kind of go about their own business their way. The NFL wants players to be represented by real agents, whatever that means, because
Yeah,
his
yeah.
mom represents him, and
They want control over the
They
situation.
want control
That's
over the
really what this boils
situation.
down to.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, we saw what happened with Colin Kaepernick and the fallout after that with some owners telling, hey, if you play for my team, you're going to do what I say, whether
yeah,
you agree with it or not, because I'm signing the check. So that's where we are. That's where we are
that's
in
where we are.
America in
Yeah,
2025. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want Lamar to get that Super Bowl though, so bad though, man.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, bro, and you
Next year,
ain't.
next year.
I said this to you. I said this to you last year, Trey, and you kind of got on me, and when I said it, and I'm telling you, man, they don't. You can't have braids. It's like the Allen Iverson thing that Whit was just saying. You can't
Hey,
have braids to be in the
at least
Super Bowl,
Iverson was in the
bro.
finals. At least he was in the
Yeah.
finals.
Yeah, even that was a
Like-
setup. And I ain't saying, I'm not saying they would have beat the Lakers. I'm just saying that that was
No way that team was beating the Lakers.
They
Not
wasn't beating
not
them,
with
yeah.
Aaron McKee and Eric Snow on the squad.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
way.
Oh
right.
nah,
Yeah, for sure.
nah. But he got there. He got
Yeah,
there.
he
They
did.
don't-
He did. Yeah.
I want Lamar to get to the Super Bowl.
They
Like,
don't like this coming through with black hair and braids, and I'm telling you, the NFL don't like it. It's different when Patrick Mahomes got his shave and the little curly mohawk like
Or
that.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Or Jalen Hurts.
Or Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
He might.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but the problem with Jalen Hurts is not him. It's the head coach and the drama around.
Yeah.
All of that, the sideline nonsense. Like the NFL don't really want to deal with that too much either. But Jalen Hurts better be careful. You saw that chain he had on at that press conference. You better relax, Jalen. Slow down, slow down, buddy.
Oh, Trey, I meant to tell you, Trey.
Whoa, my.
Yeah.
Stop putting this stuff. Stop putting this stuff out here. I'm gonna have to answer for it later. We have to talk. We don't do two teams. We don't do two teams.
Yeah, like I get it's different conferences, but
I got a cat around my way who is a Philly fan, and whenever and obviously Philly been smoking Pittsburgh for the last couple of meetings, but every time I go to try to talk trash to him before the game, he always talks about that time where Philly and Pittsburgh came together and they was the Steagles, and I will never have an issue with Pittsburgh because of that history. So I'm just telling you I just tell you what folks be saying, bro. I try to talk trash to them because I don't care about it neither. I'm just telling you what a lot of folks say that about a quote unquote Pennsylvania rivalry. They won't allow it to exist because of that whole Steagles history. So I'm just saying where they at with it. I'm just saying where they at with it.
Listen, I got a lot of love for the Giants. So, my best friend is a Giants fan. I got a lot of love for the Giants. They we wear the same colors almost. They coach, they GM came from us. Like, I mean, they got a lot of our players over there. Yeah, I got a lot of love for the Giants. So I get it.
Yeah, they in some purgatory right now. So
well, let's be clear. I am from the DMV. I've lived way more in Maryland than I have in DC, but you ain't never gonna see me rooting for no Baltimore Ravens. Ain't never gonna happen.
That's right.
Hey,
ain't never gonna happen.
Respect.
You go ahead and take me off the earth the second you got me doing anything outside of losing a bet. I ain't doing nothing to support the Baltimore Ravens.
Respect. Let's talk about this game, Whittle.
Okay.
So we're obviously I know where you at with it, but for your eyes, who's gonna be the X factor in this game? We know what Lamar Jackson's gonna do when we know what Josh Allen's gonna do. Who's your X factor in this game?
Okay. On defense, my X factor is at Oliver. I think this is a game where you need your defensive tackles to be disruptive. He's got to get upfield. And if you go back to the week 4 matchup, you will see Ed Oliver with a lot getting double teamed a lot. Like they understood the assignment and said, keep this dude out the backfield. I need Ed Oliver. I need Ed Oliver to have a really good game this year. To Sunday. In addition to that, I can't even just say Ed Oliver. Maybe I have to say defensive line
yeah.
because I need the defensive ends to play extremely disciplined. I watched that Pittsburgh Baltimore game in the wild card probably about 4 or 5 times this week, and I am disgusted with the lack of assignment football that defense played with. I mean, it was
300 rushing yards.
You got 3 guys chasing where you think the ball is going, and Lamar's just like, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah, TJ
15
Watt
yards
in the
here,
blender.
8 yards here. So, yeah, like it was nuts. I couldn't believe they played that poorly. But we can't have that. They've got to understand. No matter what happens, this is how we're going to defend this. Cover One did an excellent breakdown of how the Bills normally defend the read option. They do a good job at it. So if you're on YouTube, tap into Cover One. They did a great. Eric Turner did a great breakdown on the Buffalo Bills and how they defend the read option. So all of that, like they got to defend the read option very, very well. I think they also need to keep the Ravens in 3rd and 7 plus. If you get them in that, now you're taking Derrick Henry off the field. You're getting Justice Hill in there, and as long as you defend the screen pass, or you have an opportunity to get to force Lamar out of the pocket, you can eliminate a side of the field, and our back 7 is very good in coverage. That's how we take care of business. On the offensive side, I think it's got to be Joe Brady. Like I don't want to pick a certain player and say like this player's got to do this because like we need Josh to be good, but I need Joe Brady to keep him in a great keep that offense in really good game situations. 21-3 going into halftime in week 4. We came out. Ravens got the ball. I mean, we got the ball first, punted. Ravens got the ball. We stopped them, punt. Got the ball back, scored. Now it's 21-10. Ravens get the ball again. We stop them again. They punt. We get the ball, and we're driving. We cross midfield. And the Ravens have been notoriously bad in the second half of games. Yeah. You are in at the point. You've played horribly up to this point. On both sides, right?
You're right about that because that was the time when our defense wasn't playing that well.
Folding,
we had like an 8-week stretch. There was like an 8-week stretch where we was giving up about 25, 26 plus a game. And the one game where we didn't give that much up was that matchup against Buffalo. Yeah.
So you have a chance to get it within one score and really now make this a game. You call a trick play. That was blown up. You almost got the quarterback killed. We can't have any of that. You got to stay above. You got to stay in good situations. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, things like that. Continue to matriculate the ball downfield. Get first downs. Keep that offense on the sideline and get points. Get touchdowns. You got to get points. You got to get touchdowns. Because it's going to be cold. We're used to it. It's going to be cold. So I know Lamar, he's from South Florida. He ain't gonna want to be dealing with all of that. So we get points on
Lamar
the board.
Will be okay. He'll be all right. Look. I'm in the Baltimore area, and we get these, I guess, balmy winters. Like it'd be like the other day, it was like 40 degrees out, right? So I know that Baltimore winters are different than Buffalo winters. I get that, but Lamar has played in some cold weather games in the past. I think he's like 9-2 in games that are like 30 degrees and under. He's 9-2. He'll be okay. He'll be.
He's never played in the game. He's never played in the game 25 degrees or less. Never.
Facts.
And this will be that. It's going to be 8 degrees at kickoff. It's gonna be 8 degrees, and it's gonna be windy, and that wind is coming off the water. Listen, I'm a Bills fan. I hate being there in games
Yeah.
like that. It's gonna be
Yeah.
cold. It's gonna be dark. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
Like it's you get a hot chocolate and it's warm, or it's warm by the time you get back to your seat. It's bad. So I mean that the ball's gonna feel like a rock. It's gonna be easier to knock the ball out of guys' hands. It's gonna be tougher to catch, and the Bills do a good job of taking the ball away. We got to get a turnover. We got to generate extra possessions for this offense. So the keys, I would say, Joe Brady's got to be on his game, and that defensive line has to play really, 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 really disciplined football against the Ravens. That to me is the recipe to win.
Yeah. So for me, X factor, and I forgot to mention Derrick Henry as what Derrick Henry's going to bring to the table. It's going to be hard. You talk about it being cold. It's going to be hard for guys to try to get him to the ground, and guys, wanting to be able to try to, hit that dude. Like, there's going to be a lot of business decisions being made when it comes to Derrick Henry. But since it's likely we're not going to have Zay Flowers for this game, he hasn't practiced all week. And I know Coach came out and said that he doesn't really need to practice for him to play on Sunday. But I get the sense that they're going to try to sit him out just this one more game before we can hopefully get to next week. But Isaiah Likely, for me, has got to be a dude that's going to have to be big on third downs and just kind of keeping these chains moving, because as much as I love Rashad Bateman, and he had a okay game against Pittsburgh last week, he caught a touchdown. But if you're trying to throw, 6-7 balls to Rashad Bateman, I just don't know that he can handle that amount of volume of targets, coming this way, particularly in this offense, because, the receivers don't get a lot of targets, week in, week out. You might have Zay Flowers catch, one ball. Like, I think he caught one ball against Buffalo in week 4. But another week, he'll catch 8 balls. So, this offense fluctuates when it comes to the wide receivers and targets. But when we get into that 2 tight end set, I need Isaiah Likely to be that dude, like to be that monster that I know we can be. So I think he's going to be like a crucial X factor in this game. So what's the score for you, Whittle? What's the score going to be?
Yeah,
man, come back to me, man.
Be respectful.
No.
Be respectful. Be respectful.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I'm gonna say what it is, man. I think this game ends up being. I think this game ends up being 30-23, 30-21, something like that. I think Buffalo gets this to 2 scores. I think that offensively they come out looking to spread the Ravens out. I think they look to attack. I think they look to attack the corners, and try to get the tight ends and the running backs matched up with your linebackers. And we're gonna try to drive down the field. And when we get close, QB power off tackle.
Yeah.
QB power off tackle. Let's go and get in the end zone.
Shout out to my guy PR. But yeah, if y'all target 21, he gonna be barbecue chicken, Brandon Stevens, because he's had a rough year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, that's
he's had
Charles
a rough
Barkley.
year.
Charles Barkley used to say, he said, that's a limo guy. That's a guy you want to make sure he gets to the arena. He don't have no problem. You send him a limo. Because I know I'm going to get him for about 35. Yeah, that's Brandon. Stevens is going to get the treatment of a lifetime. Yeah, we're going to make sure he get there nice and easy. For sure.
Indeed. Call the score, Trey.
28-24 Ravens.
Ew, boo. Under 30?
Yeah, I think the weather, I just think it calls for conditions to run the ball, man. Like,
sure.
And shout out to Justin Tucker, because since the bye week, he's somehow got himself right, because he's had a up and down year, in the middle part of the season. I don't want Justin Tucker kicking in Buffalo air. So that's why my score is 28. I think we're going to score 4 touchdowns all they got to do is just kick them extra points. I don't want him, kicking 50+ yard field goals in Buffalo. That's not a good. It's not gonna be a good look. So
give me Buffalo 35-21.
Yo, you're being disrespectful right now, man.
What?
Wait,
is this a unbiased score
No,
prediction, or is this like
it's a
bias. No bias
it's a bias
involved. No bias
score.
involved. I do not want to stomach the idea of the Baltimore Ravens possibly getting to the Super Bowl. So let's just go ahead and kill the horse now, the proverbial horse now. Let him lie so we can get on and get back to real bickering. I don't want to deal with this
Cause see, I'm gonna come on here next week and I'm gonna talk my trash. So
I don't want to deal with let me tell you about Trey. Trey's a good person. God loves him. That's my brother. Yep. I know him for years. That's my man's. He's the wrong person to be on the winning side of things. And right now, like maybe right now more than ever with the Liberty and who am I leaving?
Yankees got in the World Series, even though they didn't win it, but
he's been a little humbly unbearable, if that makes any sense.
Knicks got to get it together.
The Knicks, but even still, even with the Knicks having their little whatever they having right now, like he on cloud 9 right now, and I don't need no more of his teams being successful. If I'm being honest, it's not fun to pot with somebody where all their teams are like could possibly win a championship or making it to championships. It's not fun. I'm a Wizards fan. That's no fun. It's no fun talking to him about basketball. It's just not fun. I don't I sit here and pretend like
it's over before it begins.
I sit here and act like I'm gonna tap in after the football year, and I'm not, because I know the Wizards not gonna be good.
What about you guys? I mean, Cooper Flag's gonna be there, so you be all right.
Look, I would love to sit here and act like that made me feel better. Like, that didn't make me feel better at all, man. It just made me feel like he was a part of the sick game. Like, that didn't feel good. Yeah, but no.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. In the rematch game, after the Bills take a loss, there's only been 2 teams to beat the Buffalo Bills. Three teams to beat the Buffalo Bills over the last 5 years in the second meeting after they won. Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs in 2020, and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow. Wow.
Everybody else we played, when we lost, the very next time we played them, we beat them. And most times we beat them bad. So, I mean, take that information. I don't know how this game is gonna go. Yeah. I hope that it ends up with the Buffalo Bills winning and advancing, because I sure don't want to sit out there for 3 hours in the cold for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah. Oh, so, especially in a blowout. If the Bills get blown out, you definitely don't want to be sitting there.
That's not happening. That's not. Like, let's let that go. Let's let that go now. I think it's more likely. I don't think anybody's getting blown out, but I think it's more likely that the blowout happens the other way.
What's the blowout? What's the blowout to you, point wise?
A blowout to me would be it is possible, because the Bills take the football away, it's going to be cold. The Bills always try to punch the football out. If the Bills are able to score, open up I watch those Madden simulations on like YouTube where they do like the Madden. I don't know if y'all do, but I watch them sometimes. We actually had a guy in our fan base that used to do them. And I watched one yesterday, and they had the Bills start the game off with a fumble. The Ravens got it, they missed the field goal. And then the Bills scored the following drive, punt, Bills score again, following drive, sack fumble, Bills score again. It's 21-0 at like the middle of the second quarter. I think it had to be something like that. Like the Ravens would have to turn the football over.
It's got to be it's got to be a Seattle Broncos Super Bowl type of a blowout.
Yeah. I mean, the Ravens would just have to play a poor game.
Right.
They would have to play it back.
And I don't see that happening right now.
Me either.
I mean, this man's mother cussed him out after the Philly loss, and ever since then, this dude's been on a tear. So,
It's
like you,
playoff
I don't
time
think
now,
it's a
though.
blowout. Like you, I don't see a blowout happening. I think this is a
Mm.
close game. I know you got it in the 30s. I got it in the mid to upper 20s. It's gonna be a good game, man. It's to me, it's gonna be the best game of the weekend for me. And I think
Yeah.
and I think the other 3 games are gonna be good games too. So
You give
so there's
Houston a
that.
chance? You give Houston a chance?
Um,
Yeah,
I do too.
yeah,
I do too. I'm thinking
I do.
about I'm thinking about the first matchup they had about a month ago,
Yeah.
and they were in that game until Tank Dell caught the touchdown
And
and
I'm hurry.
tore his knee up, and you see CJ Stroud with all the emotion on his face, and the moment I saw that, I said, "Oh, that's it! Like they're losing this game. Like it's going to be hard to come back from that to try to pull off an upset." So I think coming in, knowing what they got, and let's not forget too, Houston made moves in the offseason to the point where some people thought that they could get to an AFC title game. They got Daniil Hunter. They got, yeah, right, Maestro. Yep. Daniil Hunter, they picked up. They picked up Joe Mixon, who I think, for as much as we talked about running backs throughout the regular season, I feel like Joe Mixon was getting
He,
overlooked.
yeah,
He
he
was
definitely
he,
was.
he was getting overlooked, but he balled out last week, and I think he's going to be critical in this game. So I do think they have a chance to win this game. I really do.
Yeah, shit, I'd be willing to call an upset. You talk to me the right way, I'd be willing to call an upset.
Mm.
I'm not there yet. I'm just saying I'd be willing to.
Sure. I was gonna say I'm waiting for a score here or some kind
No,
of
no, no. I'm gonna
like
wait.
concrete.
I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a little research. Little, tap in real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But
Defense good though. Defense good. Like
defense is the defense. Defense
they
is the
got 2
defense.
rushers and they got them boys in the secondary. So they definitely got a chance. And I like the Miko Ryans too. He's a
Yeah.
good coach. I think he gonna have him ready. I believe he's gonna have him ready for sure. How y'all feel about Rams and Eagles?
I mean, I
Yeah.
like the Rams. I mean, the crazy part about the Rams is you never know when you're going to get a Stafford legacy game,
Yeah.
and
Right.
when you
Mm-hmm.
get one of those, they're going to win because they got a front four that is going to get after you. Like they got 4 guys that legitimately can get after you
Mm-hmm.
on both the run or the
On
pass.
both.
Like
Yeah.
they're very good. So
Yeah.
it's up to Stafford. If Stafford is unconscious that game, like you're gonna lose to the Rams. It's just what it is. He just doesn't do it enough. He's not
Yeah.
consistent with it.
Yeah. Right. I mean, look, man, and look, I don't know if that's. I mean, it's a bad thing for the Rams, but I don't know if that's such a. I mean, this Bama wasted so much of his career on a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I mean, how much more y'all expected me to give? So it's like, and then he went and then he messed around and already got a Super Bowl the second he got off a bad team. So it's
Yep.
like, I could understand why he's on cruise control.
Right.
And by the way, I agree with you. If he decides, ooh, I want to play a game, Philly in trouble. But I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. I got Philly. I got Philly for certain beating Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This was tough for me because I thought between the Rams and Tampa, 2 franchises that have recently won Super Bowls, albeit with Tampa, in the case of Tampa, it was Brady that got him the bowl. He's no longer there. I thought one of those 2 teams would be in the conference championship round. It was either going to be the Rams or it was going to be the Bucks. So I'm going to pick the Rams in this one. And I hate that because I like the Eagles. I like their team. I like Saquon Barkley and that defense. And I know they lost Jacoby Dean. That's going to hurt a little bit. But I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams to go into Detroit in the championship round.
Yeah, Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I respect it.
You talk about a storyline. That's
you gotta.
Now the NFL would
They would love
that
that.
would be a storyline. Yeah.
They would love that.
Yeah, that
would
would
love
be.
that.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Stafford to go get his lick back. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
That
Or Detroit to get their lick back. Because he left them.
He left them. Yeah, I know last year and that was the wild card last year.
That was the wild card last year.
Okay, yeah.
And then they met again in the opener.
This
year.
And
they lost both of those games. So
yeah. So, look, Detroit. Say what you want. Detroit is different. Say what you want. They different.
Yeah,
they different right now. Like we all agreed, they want Detroit there. They want Detroit in the game. They want Detroit in the game.
Right. How much chance you give the Commanders against Detroit?
Jayden, look, this is in my opinion, this is going to be the first game where my prediction of the Commanders is going to come true, in my opinion, or maybe the second because they did it against the Ravens. You remember my kind of synopsis on the Commanders in the earlier in the year was Jayden Daniels is going to win Rookie of the Year because simply he's going to be running for his life, but the football team is not going to be that good.
Yep.
Jayden Daniels is Jayden Daniels has earned my respect, honor, salute, and all that. But when you look at team for team, bro, like they're not going to be able to deal with Detroit.
There's no question. There's no question that the two teams are different. There's no question about that.
He would have to play the game of his absolute life, along with Detroit playing the a terrible game. Like they'd have to play a terrible game.
They'd have to play a interception golf game.
Yeah.
Interception golf game. Yeah.
They would have to play a terrible game. You believe in that?
No.
Keep it a buck. Keep it a buck.
Detroit offense is that.
You don't believe in that Commander. You don't believe that Commander's defense. You don't really believe that Commander's offensive line.
I don't. But here's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Dan Campbell loves going forward on fourth down. You know who else loves going forward on fourth down? Dan Quinn loves going forward on fourth down.
Here's the difference.
If you think, because look. And look, the numbers are the numbers, and look, they can change within one game, but they've converted about 80-something% of their fourth downs throughout the regular season. I think they was 20 for 23, and then they went for it on fourth against Tampa in the wild card round last week and converted, I think, 2 of those. And to me, I thought that was the difference in the football game, in my opinion. But if you don't think that, because look. No pressure. They weren't supposed to be here, but they still trying to win. So if
I don't know about no pressure, bro. I hear you. Like I get it. I get it that nobody has the Commanders winning, and that should take something off of it. But right. I don't think that team with those veterans, the Bobby Wagners of the world who understand. The moment, like I don't think it's no pressure. Now, obviously, if we want to talk about who has more pressure between Detroit and Washington,
question it's Detroit.
It's Detroit, sure.
No
but nah, bro. I don't think. And let's be clear, Jayden Daniels, as good as he's played, as good as he's playing, all the accolades, all the things. This is gonna be his first playoff game, bro. It's not many who just walk into. I'm sorry, second, but
I'm about to say, damn, the disrespect for Tampa, damn.
but, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, right? But it's good teams and it's teams that's going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Tampa and when you look at Detroit, you're talking about 2 different levels. There's really levels to this shit. You're talking about a Super Bowl contender team to a team that played in the NFC South.
Good team, by the way.
Yeah, we ain't talking about the same. We just not.
By the way, that Tampa team beat Detroit, and they also beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And I get it was earlier in the year, but they got that. But they got that. You can't take that away from them. They got them 10 wins. People want to say, "Oh, they played the South. They got swept by the Falcons." Let's
Sir, I'm
remember
about
that.
to say, sir, we were
Let's
saying
remember
that all year. Me and you have been saying that all year.
Sure. But I can reflect, right? The regular season's over. I can reflect. They won 10 games. They got swept by the Falcons, but they got some quality. They got quality wins on their schedule. They beat the Chargers late in the year when the Chargers was rolling on their win streak.
Yeah.
So they got some solid wins. But I agree with you. They are a good team. And then there's a team that's got places to go.
Yeah.
Detroit's got places to go.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, we're going. I guess we got one more question before we let you go, man. We love to do this every now and again, where we ask our guests their top 5 of a certain caliber thing. It's always a fun exercise because we get our listeners to say, I guess a testament to the caliber or integrity of the guests that we have on our show. So if I asked you, I got a Commanders fan who watches the show, and if you don't put Art Monk in your top 5 Commanders, in his mind, our guest is an unqualified guest. I'm going to ask you your top 5 Buffalo Bill players of all time.
I ain't gonna like this, man. But
it's your list, though, man.
But it's your list.
I'm gonna go with OJ.
Yep.
He's on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Bruce Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does it have to be just players?
Please turn around for when we first moved over here.
Just players. Can't be coaches.
No. Players.
Okay.
Man.
All
Players.
right. So Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas,
mm-hmm.
and
you said OJ already.
OJ, Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas. Rest in peace, OJ. By the way,
out. Yeah, I don't want to leave. I'm gonna have to leave somebody out. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go Jim Kelly and Kyle Williams. I feel like I'm leaving
Williams.
I'm leaving Josh Allen out. I'm leaving out some other guys that
Reed,
I think.
Gerald Talley, if you feel that way about him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I don't want to do it, but
I
could throw in John Fina. Shout out to John Fina. He keeps up with the fan base. I could have threw Stevie Johnson in there. I love.
I was about to mention Stevie Johnson. I was about to mention him.
Stevie Johnson was my guy.
I've never heard Kyle Williams in a Buffalo, and we've heard some Buffalo.
Oh, Kyle Williams is Kyle Williams is a Buffalo goat, man.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about locker room speeches, man, you got to see some of that dude's stuff, man. He is motivating. Yeah. So
that's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Hey, man. So, first of all, we appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us. Before we let you go, just let the people know where they can find you. Plug anything you want to plug.
Okay. Well, I mean, my social media handle is at Whittle2k. I mean, that's Facebook. Is it Facebook too? No, it's my regular name on Facebook, but don't look for me on Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Spoutable, whatever. And then Coast to Coast, we're also on Twitter as well. And we're on YouTube. Coast to Coast is on YouTube. At Coast to Coast NJ is the Twitter handle. We're on YouTube. Coast to Coast Podcast NJ. And that's where you can find us. We're part of the Do Champions Network. And that's about it, man. Like we run it. Like if you want to talk Buffalo Bills stuff, you want to connect with Buffalo Bills fans, hit me up on Twitter, man. We have a vibrant community. We talk, we link up at games. There are people that give tickets away. That we do all of that. Like we meet up for tailgates. It's a lot of fun, and so yeah, like that's what I got, man. But I thank you guys for having me as always. Hopefully, Trey, the next time we talk, I'll be able to, respectfully let we won like you did me in week 4. So
yeah, hey, And
It
when
was
we win,
respectful. Like he didn't even come at me sideways. So I was like, I was a little upset, but
Yeah,
he was respectful with it. So when you spoke about him, I was like, man, that's not the Trey I know.
man. Yeah, man. No, he's the look.
He
I'm gonna
took it
tell you.
easy on me.
I'm
Yeah,
a little sneaky. I'm a little sneaky with it,
and I'm
but
gonna tell you this.
Okay,
I'm gonna be respectful though.
And let's be.
okay.
This is definitely the reserve. I know Trey from 2001 when he had the Jason Sehorn jersey and the white do rag from Brooklyn. So yeah, he was. Yeah, times have changed. Let's say that times have changed for sure.
No doubt.
My
Hey, and
God, we
Whittle, I appreciate you. You having me on your platform as well earlier in the year. So much love to you
for sure.
and your co-host too. Shout out to him as well, man. And tell him we said what's up, and we're gonna catch you on the other side for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Be
Y'all
safe,
have a good
man.
night.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
You too.
Later.
It's the homie right there, Whittle2k. Make sure y'all check out his podcast, Coast to Coast Podcast on YouTube and all other social media platforms. Quick shout outs, man. We got some folks in the IG live chat, man. My sis Slim Baller 14. What up? Shadyboots.com jumped in here. Tiffany Sports and Heels. What's good? What's going on? Happy New Year. She says, condolences on your loss, Maestro. And then she had to get that in.
Of course.
She had to get that in. She also said they want Josh Allen to dethrone Kansas City because they want him to get the MVP over Lamar. Sure. But like Whittle talked about, and we learned this, earlier tonight, the votes is already in. So we don't got to worry about voters being swayed.
And look, you know me. I believe that that's what they say happens.
Mm-hmm. But they doing some other stuff.
They might be doing some other. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Opening the envelopes.
Yeah, hey, bro. I don't know.
They opening the envelopes,
Hey, man. If they could cheat on the presidential election, they damn sure could cheat on the MVP vote.
You're right about that. And when it comes to the NBA lottery, can we at least see the balls come out the thing? Pause. Like, can we at least see them like draw the things? You know what I mean? Like, we don't get to see that. So.
Hey, I want to do my two quick shout outs, NBA shout outs. Shout out to Steph Curry for passing Allen Iverson, scoring leader all time. He's now 28 of all time. And I know this is older, but Chicago Bulls are retiring Derrick Rose's number. It's going to be.
They did that already. I thought they had the ceremony. They did.
Okay. So last I saw, they were supposed to. They're doing it, but you're saying they did it already. Oh yeah, the speech. I remember the speech. Oh yeah, you're right. I remember the speech.
Great production by the Bulls, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like a 13, 15 minute video. They had him come out. They had Joakim Noah, come out, say some words, and then Derrick Rose came out, had a message for his son and all that.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff, man. That was. That was dope.
Shout out to Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. That's I won't stretch, but it's Michael Jordan and then it's Derrick Rose in Chicago. Like that's pretty fucking dope.
It is. And I was asking somebody who else is up in that rafters because there's other players up there. Scotty, obviously.
I would have to assume Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, Scotty's up there. I thought somebody said Horace Grant, but I didn't believe him.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But I mean, for sure, Michael, Scotty, D Rose, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to find out who else's numbers.
I mean, I'd be honest, but like who else? I mean, who?
Yeah, right. Right. Like so that was dope what the Bulls did for Derrick Rose, man.
Where is Deion Sanders going to coach the NFL? Fast, quick hit.
No. No. You believe that?
Do I believe that he's going to coach in the NFL? No, I do not. I do not. As of right now, I do not. Quick hitter. Another quick hitter. Did the Patriots want Mike Vrabel the entire time?
I believe they did.
Me too.
But it's like these other teams do with the Rooney Rule and all this stuff. They announce, hey, we interviewed Byron Leftwich, we interviewed Pep Hamilton, and and all this stuff. But they knew exactly who they wanted to be. And honestly, I think the moment the Jets interviewed Mike Vrabel was when the Patriots was like, oh hell no, we can't let him go there.
Go there, right?
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when it was like, okay, we got our guy. And it sucks that it was at the expense of Gerard Mayo. Shout out to him.
How do you fire a coach after his first year with a new quarterback, bro? Like, I get the whole my players are sensitive thing, and maybe he lost some brownie points.
Some stuff in the media that he said.
That was kind of crazy.
I feel like that stuff is fixable. Don't you think that stuff is
I feel like that's not a fireable offense in your first year, and when he's an ex-player. Like, he's not that far removed from playing football. So it's it's like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, he thought he was trying to relate to players who play football. Like, this is a competitive thing. And maybe it was a misstep, and maybe it wasn't a misstep. But I don't think that was a fireable offense. And certainly, their record, when you look at their roster, he shouldn't have lost his job. He should have had time to develop a team.
Yeah, for sure.
My last quick hitter. Make sure everything are quick hitters if you come in no homo behind me.
I got one.
Okay. Did Skip Bayless attempt to pay that girl 1.5 to have sex with her?
Oh, come on, dude. I didn't think you was gonna bring this up. We were so like, because we didn't do the show last week. We were so
quick. I had a lot of shit to say. So I summed up everything I had to say into that one question.
Oh my God, yo! I don't think, bro.
Did he offer her 1.5 for sex? Yes or no? Don't got to go into it. Yes or no?
Oh my God, yo!
No need to get into it.
Nah.
Okay.
He didn't do it.
Okay. Right.
He didn't do it. But I
say less.
Say
less. You ain't got to do no more.
You ain't
got to do no more.
I know, because had we did the show last week, I was prepared to go in about 5 minutes.
This show was going to be 3 hours because I had so much shit to say.
Because right. But yes, no, I don't think he offered $1.5 million. And I'll throw a quick hitter in here. I just saw earlier that Tubi is going to be live streaming this year's Super Bowl, which I think is pretty dope.
Yeah,
given Tubi's platform and everything like that. I think it brings a brand new audience to Tubi, and I think it'll open up more opportunities for Tubi to maybe, film some NFL content.
I love Tubi, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tubi.
Some good stuff on there.
I have not yet gotten into the regional hood movies that everybody keeps trying to tell me to get into. The ones with the bad acting or the bad
acting.
They don't got all the necessary resources to put
the props. You be seeing all the props and the strings and stuff.
I haven't got into those yet, but Tubi be having some good shit on there, man. And because now most streaming services got commercials, unless you want to pay for ad free. It's just Tubi to me now. So shout out to Tubi. A quick what do you call it? Secret about me is I watch Samurai Pizza Cats on Tubi a lot.
Ah, okay. That's what's up. Is that a
live version of it? No, Samurai Pizza Cats is an old 90s, the 90s anime show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yep, no, it's the old 90s show.
Yep, I'm familiar.
Yeah. Okay. So shout out to Tubi.
That's what's up. What up, though? Carlton Henry in the chat.
What up?
Good luck on the Lions this week.
I should smoke them. No, Commanders fans, no disrespect. Y'all had a great season.
Yo, your mention's gonna get filled, bro. Don't do that. Shout out to Carolina Girl 16 in the IG live chat. Appreciate you coming in. Big thanks to Whittle2k for coming through.
For sure.
Talking the matchup, Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens this weekend. Appreciate everybody in the chats. Live chat tonight between Twitter, IG, YouTube, and Twitch, and Twitter and all that good stuff. Continue to follow us on those platforms. IG, you can find us at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And if you got questions or comments, hit us up on the email, barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. And if you got, any kind of reviews or anything, just, listen to us on this, on the audio side, whether it's Google Play, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Those reviews definitely go a long way. So that's it for the show. My show. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it next week. We got a dope show. Love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. And as always, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey Frazier and Maestro Styles, we got one. Right back like we left some. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.